Hello, could you please introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Hi, my name is Brittany. I my artist name is Brittishknees. It's kind of a little weird name. I used to write Brittany on my name tag at work, and a lot of my coworkers just ran with it and started calling me Brittishknees, so I stuck with it.
It's been a while since we last saw each other. How have you been? What have you been up to?
Been pretty good, pretty good. Just working in school, trying to figure that all out. And I just recently moved to a new house, so I've been trying to settle in there and get my setup going, which is, tough.
Cool. Where'd you move?
Literally down the street from here.
Really?
Yeah, like on Chapman, almost.
Nice. All right. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your journey into music and maybe what sparked your passion for it?
Well, it's like a really long story. So I've always loved music, like absolutely love music, especially growing up. Like my dad had a very big passion for music and showed me all of his favorites and all of the classics. Same with my brother. It was like it ran in the family. Always wanted to do music growing up, but I never really thought that I could have a career in that. So I kind of tried to go a separate way. That didn't work out. So I just didn't go to school anymore, and I just stayed with Starbucks for a long time. And it wasn't until I started working in downtown Santa Ana that I had a regular. His name was Johnny, and he's like a reggae artist almost. And so he invited me back to his studio, which was like just across the street. And being in the studio, I don't think I'd ever actually been like immersed in the music before, because you listen to the music, you feel it, all that stuff, and it's very like passionate. But then when you actually see how it's made and you see all of that, like I sat there and it was like an epiphany moment. I was like, I could do this. Yeah. I want to do this. Like, I don't care if I have to work my 9-to-5 job every day just to do this on the side. Like, this is something I want to do with my life. Okay. And so then, like, literally the next day, I started looking up programs and stuff, and that's when I found the digital music production. Yeah, certificate.
So for those of you who don't know, Brittany and I, we used to study together at Santa Ana College. We did the digital music production program. How is that going for you?
It's pretty good. This is my third semester, and just because I'm like always so excited to take all the classes they have, I do put a lot on my plate. So this semester, I had too much on my plate, so I started cutting back. So right now I'm only taking one class, and then I have 2 more at the second half of the semester, and I'm just trying to get more into the digital part of the music production instead of the theory and everything, which is what I was like worried about, and I wanted to just get like more hands-on with everything.
Okay, I remember. We had a lot of classes together. We took some instrument classes. So I know you play the piano. Do you have any other instruments that you aspire to play or learn, or do you still keep up with the piano?
I should be keeping up with the piano, but I don't. I want to get back into that a little more, especially like playing like MIDI and stuff on Logic and everything. I want to be more creative there because I feel like my lack of skills hinders my creativity for it. I do want to learn to do the trumpet one day, just because I love the trumpet and I love like a really nice brass section. So of course, I want to contribute to that one day. And also, I'm pretty sure trumpet players are hard to find.
Actually, for my first episode, I had my friend Paulina. She is a trumpet player, and she goes to Cal State Fullerton. She's a super talented trumpet and trombonist. And she does teach on the side. So maybe I can connect you to.
Gosh, I love that.
Yeah, maybe I could connect you too. But, small world. So I know you go under the artist name Brittishknees. Mm-hmm. So we have a song together that we made, but we can talk about that in a sec. Do you primarily create your music solo, or do you tend to collaborate with other people?
I do tend to do more solo just because I don't even know what I'm making half the time. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. And whatever ends up at the end, if I like it or not, I'll go with it. So working with someone else, it's like I have to reorganize my brain almost to
fit everybody's ideas
together. Yeah. Which is, it's like not something, hold on. It's not hard, it's just as since I'm still learning everything, it's making everything a little more difficult. But I liked working with you. I mean, even though I probably wasn't super collaborative, because I know I just showed up one day with a song and I was like, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it made the work easier.
Exactly.
But it was a lot of fun working with you as well, and bouncing ideas off of you or bouncing ideas with you. It was fun. I had a good time. So thank you for that. I wanted to move on to some different questions, more about representation and culture. So for many artists, their inspiration can stem from many different things, and one of the most common, however, is their culture. Whether it's their own culture, one that they admire, or maybe one that they've adopted later in life if they've moved somewhere else. In what ways has your cultural heritage influenced the music you create?
So I'm half white, half Mexican, and my Mexican side is very whitewashed almost. So the person who I really connected with the most would be my grandma. She used to take me to school every day, and we'd always listen to her Spanish music on the radio. And that brass section, any song, always hooked me, always. And it made me fall in love with that kind of music, with that culture. But I didn't have so much. I didn't have a lot of. Oh my gosh, what is the word? I wasn't immersed in the culture. Does that make sense? I didn't have a lot of exposure to it. There we go. Growing up, I did have a lot of friends who did show me their experience with their culture and everything, and I did try to be closer to that so I could feel closer to my grandma. Not gonna lie, I did grow up learning a little bit of Spanish here and there because of her. It's just being in school, you never really feel like you're Mexican enough, and then you're never white enough. You're just right in the middle. But when I worked in downtown Santa Ana, I felt like it was a completely different world. I started learning more. I learned a lot in Spanish. I was exposed to so much more of the culture than I'd ever been, from all sides, from all different walks of Chicano heritage and everything like that. And that definitely opened my mind up to different possibilities in making music, different ways, different emotions and stuff like that. Granted, I do just make lo-fi right now, so it's not much I could put in there, but I have been working on other stuff.
Yeah, I've listened to your music. I really do like it. It's a stripped back lo-fi, like you say. It's something to put on to study, something to kind of concentrate. I really do enjoy your music.
Oh, thank you. No, yeah, that's honestly what I go for, because when I make music, I literally just make it for myself. And I'm okay, what quiets my mind right now? What is gonna shut everything off and just let me feel what is playing? And that's mostly what I go for. And a lot of the time, that is what I liked in music in general. Any song that I liked, it was just something that turned my brain off for a minute. Whether it was really happy, really chill, really heavy metal, doesn't matter, any kind of genre. If it was emotional enough, or it was able to just calm my mind, that's what I just aimed for. So then when I make music, that's what I aim for there.
Do you think that it is important for artists to weave their culture into their music or their art, or maybe necessary? Or do you think, like you said, some artists can just figure out what they need in that specific moment, and it doesn't need to be influenced by their culture or their heritage?
I think, honestly, no matter what culture you are, it's still a part of who you are, whether how little or how much culture you have with you or you've experienced in your life. So even then, when you're making music, you're putting a piece of yourself in there no matter what. Even if it's 30-second song for a commercial for a company you really don't like, you're still putting a little bit of yourself in there and all of your experience, which is your culture. You've experienced so much in life. You've had trials, tribulations, all that stuff. And then add on top of that how you grew up, how you were raised, which is your culture itself, no matter what kind. That just made you who you are. So really, no matter what you're doing, you are putting, no matter if it's super obvious or not, whether you're putting your culture in it, because it doesn't need to be obvious. It's still a piece of you, though.
That's a fair point. I hadn't really thought about that. I guess in my perspective, it was like it's either an obvious thing, and if it's not obvious, then you're not doing it. But that is a true statement. It's like no matter where you are in your life, like all of your experiences will kind of craft a specific person and in your specific point of view. So even if it's not a super obvious thing where it's like, oh, I'm Mexican, I'm Korean, I'm, Caribbean, you don't always have to make it super obvious in the music that you're creating or in your specific point of view, but regardless, everything that has shaped you into the person you are will be present in your music. That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about it like that. How do you view the current state of the music scene that you're a part of? Have you noticed any shifts in how your genre or style is appreciated recently?
I mean, I'm not too deep into like that industry yet, I do just make like lo-fi music and put it on Spotify on the side, and I kind of just let it go. But lo-fi music is used a lot for studying, and they're always on like different kinds of playlists and stuff. It's not always something that you'll remember, but it sounds nice when you're listening to it, which like is good sometimes, but you do want a song that like hooks somebody, that way they keep coming back to listen, because like especially on Spotify, that's the only way you're making money, and it's what, 0.9 cents per stream, so
something like some fraction of a penny per stream.
It does really suck like how the music industry has changed to what it is now, because the only way to make any money and to make a living off of that is just to sell merch and like shows.
It's true, the way that music industry has shifted. I know we took that class too together. Like what was it? It was the business of music. There we go. Business
Darren
of music.
Wilsey.
Yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, we did discuss about how the music industry has changed, where before it used to be like the amount of records you sell was like the biggest impact of your like your paycheck. But in the day and age of now, like digital music streaming, a lot of people don't own their music. They don't own physical copies of their music, which is still a very important way to support and a very important avenue to support your local artists, to purchase their music. Like physical copies, CDs, vinyl, cassette tape. And a lot of artists still do it and a lot of them don't. But that is like a very important shift in, before it was just buying the music and now it's buying their affiliated things. Like, a lot of artists have side projects where it's like they sell hot sauce, they sell like other affiliated products, and people will support because it's affiliated with them. And it's cool that they can do that, but then it's like, I feel like it's kind of unfortunate where you have to, I'm sure some people do it for the passion of it, but maybe some people are more so like, I need to find something
like
else to sell.
It's really like the music has been put on the back burner, and it's all about what product you can sell. It's like, in a crazy way, it's almost like influencer culture took over the music industry, and now all those artists are forced to just be promotional people. They're not really able to do what they want to do. Granted, a lot of them do everything, like like Donald Glover. Like, what hasn't he done in the entertainment industry? What hasn't he done? But then you have people who, again, sell hot sauces or face masks or makeup or whatever, just to
make ends meet.
Exactly.
In your opinion, can music foster a greater understanding and appreciation between diverse cultures?
Oh, definitely. I mean, honestly, music is the one thing that like I feel really connects the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, math is a universal language, but I mean, I don't speak math, I speak music. It's something that really connects everybody, because you even like the most far out kind of music that you really don't even like, you're still like connecting with that person who made it. You're still listening to what they made, even if you don't like it. But there's all kinds of music. A lot of the music in the US and everything is, again, pulled from every country in the world, every culture, every community, not even just the US but everywhere. And it's all just like a mix of everything. Music's like the glue to everything. You need it in the background, you need to listen to it to feel something, you need it to send a message, you need it to tell someone how much you love them or how much you hate them or how much they annoy you or everything they've done wrong to you or everything they did to make you feel amazing, you know? Or you could use it for a political stance, not that I say to do that, but that's what people do. You could use it to promote businesses. You can use it for literally anything. You can use it to promote, or smaller communities that really don't have a voice, you can amplify it with a song or a piece of music. If you look at any big speech, rally, like any big gathering, there's always some form of music there, whether it be a backtrack when someone walks out, whether it be someone singing or whatever. It connects you. It brings you in. It sucks you into that moment. You're now there. You're now present. And sorry, I kind of just went on a tangent there.
No, I mean, everything you're saying, it does make sense, because it's like you said, music is like kind of like a glue, where if you don't necessarily feel connected, you go somewhere for the first time and you're like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I feel kind of lost. All it takes is like maybe 30 seconds of a song you recognize, of an artist you recognize, or things like that. It doesn't have to be American. It doesn't have to be necessarily the culture where you are in that exact moment. But if it's something that's familiar to you and can band a community together, you've already kind of grown and you've already become part of that. So I do have one last closing question for you, Brittany. It is a little more fun, not super serious about culture or anything. But if you could only communicate by singing for an entire day, which genre would you choose and how much would it affect your daily conversations?
Ooh, that is a really good question. Honestly, I think I would go back to like the oldies, like the old soul music and stuff like that, because I mean they've got a song for like everything and they will make sure you feel what I feel. What was the last part of the question?
How do you think it would influence your conversation?
You know, I definitely would get some weird looks, but people would finally know that like I am very passionate about everything, very passionate. And you're gonna know it. I will not let you forget it. Will my voice be so raspy at the end of the day? Yes, but that is totally fine. It is worth it. Will I be able to hit those high notes like Etta James? No. But no, I mean, thank you for the vote of confidence. I don't think I can touch that queen. But I will try.
You could try.
People will suffer, but my point will get across.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a good question. Thank you, Brittany, so much. So I did want to give you a special shout out. You know, you're a very, very cool person, and I'm very glad that I met. You know, Santa Ana College brought us both together, and we both learned a lot. I learned from you. Maybe I influenced you in some kind of way.
Honestly.
But, you know, the classes were a lot of fun together, and making music with you was a lot of fun. So I hope to someday see you. I know you wanted to do, are we still thinking about like scoring film?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like the ultimate goal. Probably not for a very long time because I got a late start, so I gotta work my way up to that. But that's the dream. Hopefully it gets there.
Well, I do love supporting your music. Do you have any songs, any social media to plug? Where can people find you?
I do have an Instagram. It's my own personal Instagram. It's at Psychotic Break 2.
Okay.
Because Psychotic Break 1 was taken. I have a Spotify. It's Brittishknees with 2 T's, BRITTISHKNEES. I know it's super long, super complicated. I only have a few songs there, and I'm trying to put out other like school projects that I liked, and I'm like, I'll master them, put them out just because I like them. But yeah, that's like really where to find me. I'm not a social media person. I mean, I know I should be, especially since like the majority of the career, whatever, is promoting yourself, which
It
I'm
takes
horrible
time.
at.
It takes time. And if you want to support both of us, we did release a song. All right, Smoky Galaxies.
We've had 2 streams in the last month.
All right, and that's probably me and you. Okay, well, check out Smoky Galaxies, Stars. I will definitely be playing that on this show, so you guys probably heard it. And who knows, maybe Brittany and I will collaborate again in the future. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
And we could make another song, maybe even an album, a little EP or something.
Ooh,
Maybe be ambitious, you know. But anyway, it was great to see you again, Brittany. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for having me and for listening to my nonsense. I know I go on a little bit of a tangent every once in a while.
It's all good. If you guys want to check her out, again, her artist name is Brittishknees, and I'll have the music playing in the background and probably under this interview. So if you liked it, you're going to like her as well. Thank you so much. Have a good one.